And now, and now, she's a stranger. Oh, hey, woman, me, those men who criticize women are here on YouTube are not the men that have been put through the rites of passage to be men. Sadly to say, sadly to say, the rites of passage. That is what is missing in our community as a people. The rites of passage. That's your right to pass as a man. You may be man in nature, but a real man understands a real woman and understands that he does not have the education or the knowledge. He will never have the knowledge of what a woman is. But he wants to talk about a woman online. In his confused mind, he wants to compare women when you don't even know what a real woman is. You want to compare women. And you can't teach on a woman. if you're not a woman. Because I'm not going to go to a painter to learn how to carpentry, do carpentry. Because that painter, he specializes in what he is. He's a painter. And the carpenter job is a totally different job than what uh, he can do as far as his knowledge goes. So those women who follow those men who think they know women, other women, you're lost because you're following men who do not know what a real woman is and can't handle a real woman because they haven't been put through rites of passage, which is a critical thing for any society or any community to thrive. It's a difference between sheep and lions. So when we see the sheeple, and I have to deal with sheep that say I'm hateful because I don't like church or I don't like God, I don't like Jesus, I don't like anything that was put in front of me to oppress me and control me, it gets confused because the sheep is used to that being connected to love in some form, some shape. Confusion, confusion is the name of the game. Even the scriptures talk on confusions, but they don't go deep and delve into it deeply enough like they should and give you understanding. It just gives you a surface understanding, but the deeper understanding will clarify things and help you to really see and come into that remembrance and start to be reminded of your truth. The lions are those who follow my channel. The ones that I didn't have to wake up, they just heard something and they just all of a sudden it clicked and remembered. They remembered and went into a remembrance of who they are and that they can't be fooled or tricked or dazzled into being nice, which means stupid, which is what the slave master always whipped the slave into being nice. Love everybody. Everybody's everybody. On whose terms and at whose expense? At the expense of a people that they oppress and hate. No one outside of you can love you. Don't believe that God loves you. Don't believe that Jesus loves you. Because if he did, why would you be in the position that you are? It's time to love you and stop loving things outside of you that somebody told you you have to love. Because if you don't, you are doomed. I cried I cried and I cried and I cried because I love. I love and I love and I love. I true love. I have true love, and my heart aches every time someone calls me hateful because of my because I get out my anger. I don't hold it in me because that's not healthy. It's healthy to let out your feelings. Let it be proclaimed how you feel, how you think. Because once you do that, you can start to use your energy to change things. You're crying aloud for things to change. But if I hold it in, that's when I will suffer health wise. But if I'm expressing it, I'm releasing it, and that's healthy. And I was shown some things. I was shown something, even though I was told something. And I've been shown this over and over and again. And I'm like, why do I have to see it? Why? But everything is meant for you to be able to see. It's education. It makes you more knowledgeable when you accept what fate, what life has shown you, even though you don't want to see it. You have to see it. It's forced in my face. The loyalty to white women and the disloyalty to our own community, to our own people. That in itself is hate. And they want you to hate yourself. And you do. You hate yourself. We say all skin folks ain't kin folks. And that's the truth because they are endeavored, they are deep within hate, and they are constructors of hate within our community. Many people think that Satan is the devil. And I say educate yourself and don't get it twisted because that's when you start learning your truth that our ancient ancestors really wanted us to know, but our tongue was taken, our language was taken, and who on whose terms and who wanted us to be more like them? Do you call that love? It's a lot of things that we can look at, like relationship with the black man and the white woman, right? Is that love? Is that love? I mean, the children come out confused. Confusion is of the devil, right? He causes confusion. He births confusion into the world. No one should have to be confused and not understand who they are, why they are, and where they are. I understand I'm in the light. And in being in the light is energy. And energy it means there's some lessons for me to learn. It means I have to move around. It means I have to learn. I have to be proactive. I have to I can't just lay in the bed and just be in the bed all day, right? The light, living in the light means we're on the move. We're constantly learning, living, and supposed to be loving ourselves. When we love ourselves, we build communities where we protect ourselves, right? And we be we're patriarchic about it because we love ourselves. And that's the way I see some Caucasian people, right? In this society. I see them, and I talked about it before. When you take care of yourself and your community, that's love. That's love. When you can take care of yourself and your community. When we give power over to others, that's the problem. And control is what goes on in the air here in this world that we're in. So when you're powerful, you have to use your powers. If you're not powerful, if you don't think in your mind that you're powerful, then that's when you're gonna become a sheep, and you're gonna succumb to whatever somebody tells you. And they're gonna clot your air, not with beautiful buff clouds, but with lies, delusions. There's a reason why everybody's different. If you look at the animals are different. Not all animals eat the same food. Not all animals live in the same areas. Not all animals um, have the same ways. They have different ways. They're different animals. Depending on the animal, uh, they have different needs. Some have to have tropical weather. Some have to have extreme cold weather. Some have to eat certain foods. Some eat fish. Some eat some eat everything. Some eat any and everything. But you have different people. Unknown caller. And you have different animals for a reason. Nature tells you everything is different. Everything's different. It's okay to be different. If you don't recognize that everything's different, then that's a problem. That's a serious problem. That means that you are being controlled for your demise. You don't hold on to what little culture that was passed down to you by your forefathers, that you want to run from the land or run from this place where your forefathers have you put you. In our case, I live in pain that, you know, we had all that destroyed, all that information destroyed, and all that knowledge destroyed. All that knowledge of our language, what I spoke, culture, only to be placed amongst um, people who want to be in control and continue to be in control over our lives, over our existence. I want to shout out the lions on my channel again because that is truly amazing. Because we have so much sheep. I run into them every day and they say I'm hateful. They say I'm hateful, but they don't know I never hung any man, or I never hung a woman upside down until her baby died, or I never, you know, fed babies like babies to alligators, crocodiles. I've never made up derogatory names for people. I never said that people were non-animals. We're animals. Oh, not animals, but non-human. I never proclaimed that on a big stage where I had control over a place because of my skin color. Had privilege. I never was in a high place where I can economically harm anyone. And even so, I'm a soul. So I would have never, I don't do those things. You see me as the physical me, which is an illusion. The real me is my soul. And that shines through because certain things I don't do because of my soul, because of my natural soul that I have within me. And I explained before, you can make people lose their souls. People lose their souls from traumatic experiences, really, really bad traumatic experiences that they have never sought help for. I've always sought help, even though I've been through some traumatic things, but I always seek help. But some people don't know how. Some people don't know how, and that's how they become sheep because their world is clouded by delusion and lies. So when we talk about evil, evil is not just the seven deadly sins or whatever you want to call it, the sins of the world, but it's what comes before that because sin is caused by something, right? So sin is caused by the delusion in the air, even though those sins are not what would keep you from. Okay, let me take it back. Those sins will keep you from getting to your goals you want to get to in life. Because not because police are going to come and get you, not because God is not going to take you to heaven or hell, because there's no heaven or hell that God has to put you in. It's you that destroys your own life in your own world. It's you that destroys your own life in your own world. They say the white woman was going to be utilized in these days and time, and she has been. And the thing about it, it's not out of love, it's out of hate. Once again, the true hate. Because white is what they call themselves to make our black seem like it's not enlightened in this in the light that we're in. It's not pure. It's not wholesome. And what do black men say when they're uplifting the white woman? They say the black woman is trash. They say she's not light. She's not um, submissive. But where does the submissive come from? Submissive idea concept is a patriarchal concept because we're matriarchal people. That's why I say black men, you know, I'm not putting I'm not going to generalize because it's not all black men. But the whole thing is, and it's not all black women, okay? Because, just like I said, a lot of them follow those men who degrade their own women in the community. And it's a lot of black women who follow that, right? A lot of white women that follow that. And so basically, reparations is never going to be given by someone who did the damage. Reparation comes from the people, just like the people who built Wall Street, they repaired themselves. It wasn't the government that gave them anything. They repaired themselves because they loved themselves, no matter what. Granted, there were black men who who loved the white woman, and that's what they got, right? So they knew they could use that. They knew they could use that to tear down us from rebuilding or repairing, giving ourselves reparation. So this is how hate affects love. Okay? Hate affects love. You can't love yourself because you're hateful, right? So who said that? The one who's whipping you into saying everybody's everybody, be nice, God is love, Jesus is love, and he's a white man, right? He's white, and God is white, right? A bright light, white. No, it's not nothing of this earth. Okay, darkness is outside the earth. That is God. Okay, anything inside the earth is a light. We are light beings. We electrifying beings here to experience this life. So that's what we are. Not under anyone's control, but we allow it. We allow ourselves to be controlled. We allow ourselves to be controlled once again into being what someone else wants us to be, not what we need to be, into thinking that something is love that is not love, that is actually hate, and that my love is hate, that my love is hate, right? This world is really, 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 really backward. So to love yourself is to protect yourself and those that are in your within your own community. Now, we can't we can't be mad at people that love themselves. We can't be mad at Trump because we don't have a black man up there talking about white people. Okay? But we have a white man that's talking about our people, but he's not harming us. He loves his own people, right? He loves himself, right? So that's okay. That's where we should be, protecting and loving ourselves from those devils that want to bring delusion and fakery and lies and warp your mind into thinking love is something that it's not. And hate is something that me loving my people is hate, is a form of hate. Me not liking what somebody gave me is a form of hate. I don't like anything that I was given, okay? Including the English language. So I live in a world of hate because I've had forced on me the English language and I've had forced on me a life. And I've been told that I would have had a worse life if it wasn't for them bringing me over and whipping my ancestors and beating them and torturing and killing babies and raping and white women rubbing themselves on black men's skin. You see, I was told that if I don't accept those things, I'm hate. I'm hate if I don't, if I'm not with the status quo, or however you pronounce it, or if I'm not, if I'm not nice, if I'm not loving. Oh, I'm loving. I'm very loving, and I'm loving that. It's my nature. It's my nature to be caring, to be loving. That's deep down my nature, my soul. But I don't have to tolerate nonsense, and I don't have to tolerate fakery, and I don't have to tolerate lies that prevent me from getting up out of the world of hate into the world of love. Where is my world of love? Right now, I'm in a world of love where I'm hated, and I've been hated for some time because they took my language, my tongue, they took my place, they took everything, everything. Our our economic futures that our ancestors tried to build back after they went through hell. They put fear. That's something the Antichrist would do because he doesn't want your Christ to rise. They incite fear into you so you don't rise and you want to believe in a God that they told you. Because they say everybody love everybody. We're gonna have equal. We're gonna have no. There's no such thing as equal. You're never gonna have me equal to anybody. It's no equality. No such thing as equality. No such thing as give me rights. I have rights. I have natural born rights. And when you have people policing your rights, that's a problem. When you have people with a paper that says you have the right to do this, the right to do that, that's a problem. Constitution, that's a problem. That's called control. And if you don't see that some people have it ingrained in their nature to just want to always control things and treat you like an animal, like I saw the black man treated yesterday, and I didn't want to see it because I had just gotten in an argument over the whole ordeal that I'm sick of. because I live in a world of hate already, that we can't build ourselves and become a world of love, because that is considered hate to those who hate us. And they want to keep it the way it is because it's love for them. And how can I live in that? But I'm expected to live and be happy in that. I'm happy. Oh, I'm happy. But I'm constantly reminded. Don't think I can't be reminded every day of where I'm at and what I have to deal with and what I have to see. And the world, the way people think here, and how what people allow themselves to be sheep and not roaring lions. Niger didn't have to do anything but use their powers, their energy to will out France. And France left. Here in Virginia, we had a storm lingering outside of us, but it didn't phase me. I didn't run inland. I didn't leave. I didn't do anything. I didn't even stay in the house. I faced it. I faced the storm. And the funny thing about it, that storm lingered and didn't know where to do. It just stood still for the longest time. We waited and we waited for it to hit. That thing did not do anything, hardly. Just a little rain, just a little, barely any wind, maybe wind when I was asleep. It blew its wind. I heard it hurling its winds while I was sleeping. But it wasn't even bad, not at all. Few debris, tree limbs here, tree limbs there. If they do say people control the weather, which our ancestors are the storms that come across here, but it's energy. It's energy. And energy can be controlled, because you have the power to decide how you want your air to be ruled. Do you want to be a lion and rule your own air and give your own people reparations? You want to repair your own people, or do the men have to be behind their white wives while her ponytail's wagging like a dog tail and lusting over her big ass that she and her body in public? Do you want to be like that, following behind your white wife, and animalistically lusting, which through pornography is where they started all of this. Pornography, Playboy magazines, um, just media. The media puts it out for you to be tempted. If that is the media, who controls the media? Who controls the media? Who controls pornography? Who controlled slavery? Who controlled all those things? Who controls the United States? The United Snakes, I should say, of America. Who does that? Who does that? I would think it's a devil. I would definitely think it's a devil who knows that if he puts certain things out, because patriarchal, you know, they say God is a he, so the devil must be a he, right? Patriarchal. Patriarchal. society that want women to be submissive without them going through the rites of passage to be a true man. You think a woman trusts, well, some women trust, unfortunately, but do you think a woman trusts her life to submit to a man who submits to white women and all kinds of other women who submit to anything within this society that has broken us down, who submits to the thought that we have to have civil rights, that submits to the thought that somehow a man controls our rights, who submits to the thought of a government. Let's go further than that. It's anti-you. It's anti-you, and anything that's anti-you, it's going to be hate. It's going to be hate. Arrogance. Some people don't. Body language. Those are two things that come to my mind that men probably don't even look at because they see world so differently than we do as women. So they can be tricked and trapped into certain things. And who better to do that is the white woman. No one's going to give you reparations. Like I said, we have to take our reparations. We have to repair ourselves. And the only way you repair yourself is to love yourself. You got to love yourself. You got to have purpose. You can't be just a drooling dog, drooling over everything and anything you see and call that the best thing because it submits to you. What is submission? Is that right to do? You got to question what world would what people would enslave a people and call that and justify it. So that means anything they say or do, you got to question. You got to question it. You got to do the math. And if the math ain't math, then you know it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's probably not good. It's probably not good. Or who says, I'm detached. Okay, you're living in the world of love, but you're detached from slavery. Don't you know you benefited from it? That's why your world is love. That's why you can control people into doing what you want them to do. That's why you can control people into loving you through a confused scripture. And bring confusion to the world, not only physically, but mentally. It's always going to be this confusion. That's the thing about it. The beauty of nature is it's always going to be this confusion here until you get what I'm putting out. Because black men and black women don't bring confusion when they bring babies into the world. but we do bring something else because now we're affected by the world of hate that we have to live in, you know. We bring children that can be affected by this world of confusion if we don't grab a hold of them. And a lot of people know this. A lot of people know this. It's been going on for a long time now, right? Over and over and over again. But it affects, I always said, everything affects innocent white people. Well, white people who are loving themselves, right? What whiteness in the world does to our blackness, it falls back on whiteness. Because there's people who are constructing things like they constructed everything that we have now, that is destroying everything. In a way, I said good, because if you destroy everything, you're destroying the world of hate that I have been living in, right? That goes too. So that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way things work out. I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. Just you can take its control and take your powers back, or you can lust and be a sheep, a lusting sheep who loves God and loves Jesus and America too. Or you can love yourself, love your people, build, be constructive, not destructive. Stop letting the devil tell you he is Satan. Satan doesn't have anything to do with the devil. Satan and Christ are much alike. They're power forces, Satan and Christ. And the devil is the Antichrist against all of that. Against all of that. I told you guys racism was much higher than what we see on the surface. Way much higher than what we see on the surface. And it destroys a world. It destroys the first creation and it destroys the second creation. Bobby Hemmett says, "The hell with humanity." And nature says the same thing. It's time for humanity to go because it's inch, inching towards self-destruction. Anyway, it's inching towards self-destruction anyway. It's funny, I was talking to the spirits. My last conversation was that, and I ended it because it got kind of weird. it got kind of weird to me that something came through and said that Mama was coming to get me. And I don't know whether that was to incite. I don't know because meaning is different than it would be for me here on this planet. And my knowledge is limited. Our knowledge is limited to this planet, right? Our understanding, or trying to understand, is very difficult when something says something because maybe we would take it negatively, or how do we take that? How do we take it? How would we take a visit from them? Will we take it positive or negative? We have to think about the limitations of our thoughts here on the planet, of trying to understand things outside of us, things that are, well, things that are within us, but are far away, or deep within us that we cannot comprehend it. Because it's not detached from us, it is part of us in DNA, through DNA. Just a different form. Things are different forms because being light beings here on this particular planet versus another planet or in the dark, deep, dark space is whole different things, whole different things. So why do we allow confusion? Why do we want confusion? We think things are better than because somebody told you that they were better than you and you believe it. You're sheep. You're a sheep. When you should say how and proceed to rebuttal it. Because they want to allow for a wicked world to exist and people they can control. A confused mind, you can control a confused mind until it has a mind of its own. Now, the black lady on my meme, she has a mind of her own. She knows she wants to be a lady. She may have been taught in her household, but that doesn't have anything on her decision, on her, you know, on what she wants to be. The white lady, on the other hand, in my opinion, she is controlled by the world. She is controlled by the world. The world says a woman has free to be expression, free expression of self. You know, express yourself publicly sexually. You know, even though they both, even though the black lady is sexy, she's a humbled and discreet kind of sexy. Rites of passage. Without the rites of passage, our community has been doomed. Without one accord for the greatness and benefit of our community, that was broken down by the public education system for us not to be a community. People hate me saying my people here on YouTube. They want me to say just me. I guess I'm in a world of my own. And that's okay. I got a small group of lions on my channel. I don't expect there to be a world full of lions. There's more sheep out here than there is lions. Who would ever thought that the white woman would be the Antichrist? In these days and time. It's okay the way you see the world because I see the world gave you your understanding. And with purpose. If it was love, then you wouldn't have your mind on a black woman. You would be in your own world. True love takes you places, true places, where you don't see anything or you don't have to use racism or use the things of this world. Why would you use, if it's true love, why would you use the things of this world? True love goes beyond this world. So does the love I have for my people. It goes beyond. And to see things go the way they go is horrific. And I feel imprisoned because I don't see a way out. Even though I work hard and try to make my way out for others to help in a way that I might be able to help others to get the way out. Because that's what we got to do. That's why I said the reparation is going to be needs to be in the hands of the woman at a certain point. At a certain point, financially, economically, the right women in the community who love their community and love themselves and won't let us die, that are the direct connection to our ancestors. Because what they did, I still look at that history and I'm like, they were amazing. They were amazing to build communities after such an ordeal that they've been through, but they still built. They still built. to be king to the things that are being shown to you is to use all of your senses and understand that everything, every little thing must be read to understand. Like I said, body language, demeanor, everything. When you're dealing with people, to know what do they mean for you? What are they meaning? Are they meaning good for you or are they meaning bad for you? Body language says it all. And if you are blind to what someone is saying to you unconsciously, then you will fall for the trickery. I guess that's how you can prevent the hypnotist from hypnotizing you and putting you to sleep and controlling your mind. Is understanding what is going on around you in your environment with this person. Because what I saw was a dog, a human, being treated like a dog, but not getting the dog benefit because the dog is treated way better than we are in this society. Hmm. I was sitting beside a white woman at the casino, and she was with, always dealing with this black man. And after the black man came over to talk to her, she said to me, I wish somebody give me money. So, I mean, yeah, I wish somebody give me money too. But I know I have to do for myself, right? I have to do for myself. And I was like, the typical, stereotypical situation I got from that, you know. And it's what I know, you know. I mean, it's evident. If you economically oppress the people, you make them see the world a certain way, then that's what you have. You take away our culture, our rites of passage, which is critical for our manhood, the right to pass, the right to be a lion and not a sheep. Hmm. Like they say, I don't know. Yep, yep. And I am out, and that's my message and my expression, my self-expression of the world that I have to be endeavored in and suffer in, because the separation of my people is intimate, is important to the devil. The separation of my people, the confusion of my people is intimate, very critical, important to the devil. Love yourself. Trump is not going to do that for you. He's not going to love you for you. He's not going to do that. He may not do that. But you can love you and love your community and love your people, respect your women, love your women. Don't listen to a Cardi B who hates black women, who looks down on black women, but she wants to uh, sit in a black woman's place and represent a black woman. Mm-mm. Confusion runs rampant because scriptures have been missionaried around the world in English and various languages to mean, to equate to a confused sense of love for a white God and a white Jesus who is the slave master, the controller over your mind, your heart, and soul. With that said, always remember true love, real peace, the higher self within us, our soul. Until next time, may you have just as much peace that I'm trying to grasp a hold of.